And thank you for being with us. Welcome to KGW News at 5 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty. Oregon is getting a big push to get the state to 70% vaccinated. That's the goal. That's when most pandemic restrictions will lift. We're learning, though, not all of the vaccine incentives that they've been coming up with have been getting the same results. As it turns out, a $100 gift card is more attractive than a chance to win $1 million. Pat Doris reports.
With demand for new COVID-19 vaccinations falling fast, the Oregon Health Authority late last week distributed $100 gift cards to the mass vaccination sites, hoping to bring in more people. It worked. This past weekend, workers at both the airport mass vaccination site and Hillsborough Stadium reported an uptick in people arriving for their first COVID shot. A similar thing happened at the Oregon Convention Center.
While we weren't really sure whether they would make much of a difference, we were a bit surprised.
That $100 card did what a chance at winning $1 million in the vaccine lottery could not. It got people to make it a priority.
I would say we probably did 3 times as many Johnson & Johnson vaccines on Saturday than we anticipated.
The numbers are relatively small, but they are something. Over the last couple of weeks, the convention center gave out 60 to 90 Johnson & Johnson vaccines per day. This last Saturday, the number jumped to 340. But there is no doubt a significant drop in demand, which is why the airport and the convention center are both shutting down after this weekend. Hillsborough Stadium drive-thru will close on the afternoon of the 25th. During the biggest days, the convention center vaccinated 8,000 people a day. Listen to what it is now.
Between last Wednesday and Saturday, we probably only did 2,700 vaccines. Out of those 2 days, out of those two days combined. So the numbers are really dropping off fairly significantly.
Which is not great for the state's push to give 70% of those 18 and over at least one COVID shot. After Saturday's shots, Oregon had 76,089 people to go to hit that target. Since June 9th, the average daily number of new people getting the vaccine is roughly 3,500 a day. Unless things pick up quickly, the state will still be living with COVID restrictions on the 4th of July and beyond.
There's a chance things are not quite as bad as they seem. The OHA says the CDC is still missing about 2 days' worth of Oregon vaccinations, and so the numbers may not be quite as bad as they look. Maybe we will be done by the 4th of July. Fingers crossed. In Northeast Portland, Pat Doris, KGW News.
Okay, so you can get the vaccine if you want the vaccine. They're available, but there are still concerns right now with rising COVID cases among African Americans. More people of color are ending up in the hospital.
That is a signal that the system is not serving our Black African American residents adequately.
Numbers from Multnomah County Health between April 1st and May 25th show African Americans were twice as likely to test positive for COVID-19. They were 80% more likely to be hospitalized than white people. The data also says vaccination rates for people of African descent are the second lowest in the state, with about 37% with just one dose. Portland nonprofit Self Enhancement Inc. is working to improve those numbers with vaccine clinics and testing sites.
Culturally, where would they go? We at SEI know that a lot of people call us for information. That's why we've done these events, because culturally they're going to call us.
SEI is planning more vaccine events this summer. Multnomah County also has an outreach program working to increase vaccine access. But things are starting to slowly come back to normal. Many Oregon venues are bringing back live performances after more than a year on pause now. Galen Etlin checks out some of the venues and performers getting ready this week.
Comedian Aries Spears is used to the applause, but heard a lot less of it during COVID.
You know, dates that were supposed to happen that got postponed.
I don't care, you pick. All right, let's sit outside. Why you want to sit outside? It's cold outside.
Now he's set to perform live at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland starting June 25th. Spears is known for his role on the old hit show Mad TV, with impressions like Shaq.
But I'm not talking about Corby.
To Michael Jackson.
I've only had 2 plastic surgeries.
Now he's bringing his humor to stand up with in-person audiences again. How does it feel now for things to come back to life?
I love it. I wish we could hurry up and really get all the way. I wish people would stop fearing this boogeyman called the vaccine. I've been vaccinated now for several months.
Other venues like the Old Church Concert Hall in Portland are compromising.
We have rescheduled some of these shows 5 times.
Executive Director Amanda Stark says a small 20-person outdoor event this week is already sold out.
Feels like we're putting on like a 30,000 person festival. It's very exciting for us just to have something to focus on. And
the venue has fundraised and revamped its HVAC system with the goal of reopening for indoor concerts in September.
And I think we're all in a position now where we don't take it for granted.
Christina Fuller helps run The Lot at Zidell Yards, the new outdoor South Waterfront venue hosting the Blues Festival and Pride Month film screenings this month.
And kind of has the best of both worlds of the safety that's necessary, but also the fun premium experience that we've all missed for the last year and a half.
Zidell Yards can host about 600 people, and its event calendar is filling up this summer. And whether you've missed the music,
Oh, girl, please quit lying. We don't want that nose to grow any longer.
or just needed a laugh, it's good to feel that life again.
Hey, you know I don't want it no more.
Ari Spears calls Portland a third home after New York and LA, looking forward now to bringing laughter and a sense of community here again.
Break out your ukuleles. Let's all sit in the park barefoot and let's play for peace.
You got Portland's vibe down pat. Galen Etlin,
Oh, yeah.
KGW News.
The man who tried to light a Portland police building on fire will spend 5 years in prison. Multnomah County DA Mike Schmidt announced that sentence today after a guilty plea. This is a video from that night that the fire was lit in June of last year. Gavon Streeter Hillwright is seen lighting a large dumpster on fire just outside the Police Bureau's North Precinct building on MLK in Killingsworth. Hundreds of people were there that night, as you can tell from the video. Police say they were throwing fireworks at officers and barricaded the doors of the building. 19 officers were still inside that building when he tried to light it on fire. TriMet announced a plan to cut its carbon emissions by more than 25% a year. Starting this month, all MAX trains, electric buses, and facilities will now be powered by renewable energy. TriMet is joining programs with PGE and Pacific Power to make this happen, and the transit company says this will eliminate 54 million pounds of greenhouse gas emissions each year. Last year, TriMet found electricity was its second largest source of carbon dioxide emissions, behind only its fleet of diesel buses. The move this month is part of a larger goal to have a zero emissions bus fleet by the year 2040.
What we're doing is buying into a program now to where they're going to generate electricity by sun and wind, solar, and it's going to reduce the greenhouse gases and produce the same electricity. So what we're doing is really saving the planet and reducing greenhouse gases.
TriMet says the move will cost them about 4% more to reduce their carbon emissions, but it says that cost will not be passed on to its riders. Last November, voters in Multnomah County passed a measure to fund universal preschool. Families won't have to pay for school for 3- and 4-year-olds, and those costs will be picked up by a tax on high earners. But 7 months after it was passed, we found the program is off to a slow start. The first kids to benefit won't be covered until next fall, and it's a much smaller group than you might think. It could be nearly a decade before all preschoolers are covered. Some providers say they love the idea, but they want more answers from the county.
I believe in the overall mission of it, for sure, and I think that it will be a really good thing for our city. It's just a matter of working out all the logistics.
Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock on The Story, we're looking into how much Multnomah County is bringing in from that new tax, where the money is going, and the challenges of implementing this new program.